Cerebellum. This is Academy of the Ancients, and today we're looking at Ferim's Beastmaster Offlane. And we did a Beastmaster Offlane game not too long ago, and this is going to be a little bit more of a standard video. That time we looked at a bit of a higher level player playing it first, so I could show you what I do when I need to learn a new hero, and just to show you a bit of the advanced mechanics there. In this case, we're just going to go into the game here, and we're going to see what he does, and I'm gonna try to just do some feedback on it. I've seen about half of this game. It's at about 3k MMR, so it's gonna be pretty decent with that regard. We can see there's a little bit of advanced stuff going on in that he's got one ward. I didn't see if he got that, but he probably got that from a support, probably Vino. Yeah, Vino bought 2 wards. It's always good to give it one to the offlaner, so he can do either what he's gonna do here, which is place it down here to give vision here, make it a little bit safer for him, or to block off the camp. I would have preferred if he'd block off the camp here, is because he is a Beastmaster. But he didn't, so yeah. Quickly about Beastmaster, why he's so good on the offlane and why this is the best position for him, what you should do with him. He's an initiator, pretty much, kind of a utility guy initiator. He's got some some reliable DPS. That's pretty much what he does. His most important ability is this Primal Roar. It's a really strong stun. It's got a good single target stun duration. It's got a good range. Yeah, okay, it doesn't say the range right here, but I think it says the scepter cast range is 950. It doesn't say what the normal cast range is, so that's a little bit odd, but the cast range is pretty good. I think it's around 700-800 normally. And it's the big thing about it is it goes through BKB, and it also has a slow around it. So he's one of those heroes you can pick if you have some BKB heroes you need to counter. And here the Luna and the Terrorblade will both get BKBs. So even if they do BKB up, you can stun them down and focus them down in that time. Which unfortunately he doesn't have the best team to do that with. The last guy here is gonna be a, what was that gonna be? Oh, I can't remember. But yeah, so he's just really good for controlling in a team fight or setting up ganks. If you have enough follow-up damage. That's one of the problems with this game. He doesn't really have much follow-up damage. We'll get to that in a bit. He's also got this Wild Access, which is composite damage nuke with a bit of an odd, target area. Like if you target over here, you get 2 axes spinning in that area, so it'll hit around this area and this. And then it'll fly back along the same line, so you can hit him twice, so you can get double damage. So it's actually 180 composite damage. And now when it says composite damage, that means it's reduced both by armor and by magic resistance. But much like its alt, it'll go through magic immunity. So magic immunity doesn't do jack against this, but it's just more reduced. So it generally composite. You can think of them as more reliable magic damage. Like it's very hard to eliminate the damage completely, but it'll in general do a little bit less than what it says. So at level 4, this ability on paper would do just below 400 damage, which for 120 mana is pretty fantastic. He is a strength hero, so he does have a little bit of mana issues. You can see he can only cast this once, and then he's got to get a bit of mana before he can cast it again. Probably he'll regen it at that time, but still, it's pretty. Like, the mana pool is usually not very good on these string heroes, and he's no exception, even with 2 branches. So yeah, these composite damage abilities are really good, especially for doing the Ancients, which is one of the reasons why he's really good, especially here on the dire side, where he can stack the Ancients a bit easier. So he can basically farm the Ancients with this ability, because it is composite damage. He's got the Call of the Wild. It's split up in 2 abilities. Level 1, you get a Scout Hawk. Level 2, you get a Boar. Level 3, you get the Greater Hawk, and level 4, you get the Greater Boar. Yeah, so the Boar has a slowing attack, and it's ranged, so it's not actually like a boar. It's more like I guess a sort of quill beast thing that can send a quill at someone. It doesn't have a melee attack, and it has a bit of a poison on it that does some stuff. Yeah, there we go. Poison attacks 20%. Movement speed slow and 20 attack slow. So that's a pretty decent attack slow, and it's 35% movement slow and 35 for the Greater Boar. So really worthwhile, really worth getting. You'll notice that the cast the cooldown is lower than the duration. So for 20 seconds you can have 2 boars. or you can pretty much persistently have 2 boars or 2 birds as well. Yeah, the hawk is really good. The greater hawk has invisibility when it stands still, so basically if you just put it somewhere and then let it stand still for 4 seconds, it will be invulnerable. They do give a bit of these do give experience and some gold. I think the scout hawk gives 30 gold and maybe the greater hawk gives a bit more. So you want to be careful with these that you don't feed them too much. The hawk is really good for providing vision, and you can do some neat stuff like if you have a tinker with boots of travel or boots of travel in general, you can go to it. Nature's Prophet can also summon to it, stuff like that. Of course, Nature's Prophet can do it to everywhere, so forget I said that. That was completely wrong. But yeah, pretty useful. There's some fringe tactics here. That's one of the reasons why you've seen him in the pro scene. You've seen Beastmaster played as a support alongside a Nature's or alongside a Tinker. I think Fnatic's been doing that a bit, just so the Tinker can TP to him. You can basically give him TP anywhere with the Hawk from Call of the Wild here. Yeah. Then he's got Inner Beast. This is just a flat attack speed aura that works for him and all his allies. This is the reason. The synergy here is you can give your boar more attack speed. And this is also why, if you look at his suggested items, he's got the Necronomicon. It's basically the same reason as with Lycan. He's got a steroid that works for everything he controls. And so if you give him more units to control, that's really good. He doesn't have much of a right click, so it doesn't make sense to get Helm of the Dominate on him most games, even though you could technically add another beast like that, but that's a lot of money for doing that, so yeah, that's not recommended, usually. As for items, these are pretty good starting items. I think this is pretty fine. 4 tangos is a little bit little. I would maybe have sold these 2, and I think he's just about could afford a salve as well. I would have gone that over this, because he doesn't quite get enough mana to do 2 wild axes without having to use a clarity anyway. So I would prefer a bit more regen, being able to stay in lane a little bit more. But this is pretty good, pretty decent. Like, you do need the clarities, you do need the tangos definitely. The stout shield is also pretty much mandatory for this kind of lane. You need to sometimes tank creeps around this tower, so this is pretty good. As for items you want to build into, we're going to see him build into a Blink Dagger, we're going to see him go for Arcane Boots, and we're going to see him go for a Necronomicon, and that's pretty good for, you know, a standard game. So yeah, let's just dive into it, see what he does, see what we like. So he's trying to block the wave here a bit with the Courier. Gonna have some limited success with that. If he's just gonna place the ward over here, so yeah, as I mentioned, he's just gonna place a ward over here, and just to make himself a little bit safer. There isn't a particular rush with doing this, and you can actually do it from down here. Though it becomes a little bit more options if you do it from down here. You can just kind of stand down here and place it up here, which is really safe. Like, there's not a lot that can kill you down here. So yeah, I don't know if he really needed to run down here and place it here over actually blocking the creeps. But for now, what he should be doing is just standing in range of the creeps of the XP. Of course, since he hasn't ever moved forward, then the glimpse from the Disruptor, which can send you back to a place where you were before, kind of like X marks the spot for Kunkka, isn't that dangerous. Like, it's a lot less dangerous than if he dived more aggressively. So he's doing precisely what he should be doing right now, just kind of being a little bit patient, just staying in range. He's only up against a dual lane, so that's really good for him. Shouldn't take too bad harass here. So he's gonna take off obviously a little bit of damage, and that's the reason why I really want that salve. He's gonna run out of tangos relatively soon. So they did a pull, he walks out here, try and disrupt it, or just kind of lead some XP. But this is, I think this is not the best play. Yeah, so, okay. There was basically no reason for him to be in this area. The pull has already happened, it went up here, and you know, there's nothing for him to get. If you wanna leech XP from the pull, it's almost always better to go in this area, like from over here, from this area, and then just into this area around here, which is a lot safer because you can just back out. You can also keep an eye on the carry, because the carry will be around your creep wave. When there's only 2 like this, there's no reason to die here. And going in this area, and particularly I think he thought he could move through here. It looked like thought he could move through the trees here, and he just ended up being caught. Like, he just kind of had no good way out. Beastmaster doesn't have an escape. We walk through his abilities, so he just really achieved nothing with going down here. He should have gone up here if he wanted to reach the XP. Else, in this case, he just needed to play a little bit more passive and not, you know, yeah, he just lost. Like, if you try to play overly active as an offlaner, sometimes there's just no good thing to do. He is just looking to stack up, which is good. I like this a lot. Exactly what he needs to be doing. And that's, you know, that's all you should be looking to doing if the lane is too busy for you to farm, or if it's too far pushed down. Sometimes, you know, when you don't block the camp, or if the camp is deep watered or whatever, you just can't do any better than what he's doing here. So that's pretty good. And here he's just, you know, stand in range to leech XP. That's pretty much all you need to do.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So that access came out way too late. It looked like he wanted to stack the camp, but of course, if you fire it off exactly at 4, that's actually gonna, I think, because it's a projectile, it'll actually block the camp. But even so, like the dual stack was already here, would already have done it. If he had done it at, he was looking at the camp at like 56 or something, that might have been enough for them to run far enough away, just have those 3-4 seconds to run out. But you know, putting it, just sending it in at whole, like it took a little bit of the health because it is composite damage, so it goes through the magic community, but it's only at level 1. He opted for getting the boar out sooner. I don't really know why he wanted the boar, but it's I would personally just go for maxing out the wild axes. But then again, you know, I wouldn't use the wild axes too heavily before they have a few levels in them. So it would have been fine if he got the stack off there, but now he just kind of wasted his mana a little bit. So minor thing, now he's standing really close again. I don't think he's gonna... Yeah, so he took a kind of a risky route. Like, you have to keep in mind when you're playing against Disruptor, this Flinch can come out and can screw you over a little bit. So there again, he mines the time, he gets the stack off, so that's really good. Aside from dying once, he's honestly played this lane pretty well. Didn't get over here close enough. He missed a few creeps worth of XP. He's gonna get really lucky here. Yeah, survive with 5 XP. And one of his teammates, the Sand King, is gonna come in and take the rest. So that's it's a little unfortunate he got forced back here, and that's the reason why I really wanted him to pick up the salve as well from the start. He would have had a bit more, you know, sustain. Like, he could have just salved up, got the extra XP, because really your first goal for Beastmaster is getting the level 6, getting that prime roar up, and getting at least a little bit more. He's becoming a bit under-leveled as it is. We're 6 minutes into the game. He's only level 3, so he's not doing super well at all. A bit of a wasted access there as well. Now Luna's gonna use her ult there. That's a fine use of Luna's ult. Like, just getting a kill with her first ult. Just level 1 ult is fine. Like, it's you don't need to hold on to it that much before it becomes level 2. So yeah, Beastmaster having a bit of a rough time with it. He's playing a little bit too aggressive, a little bit too offensive, like trying to make too much happen. Because he is honestly a pretty weak offlaner, all in all. And now he's got level 2 in access, so I guess he wants to try and farm this up a bit. But this is honestly too early, I think. Yeah, so he does get the stack off here, I think. It is stacked, so that's pretty good. But he's not gonna get, especially, like, he's not gonna have a very easy time actually farming this right now. Gonna try to get some access off, but honestly he needs the level 3 access before he can do this, really. So they're gonna get an engagement down here. He joins in on it. That's honestly really good. It's just the supports rotating over here and trying to make some space for him, and seeing that the lane is a bit in trouble, so they did come over here and try to suppress the Luna a bit and help out their offlane at the same time. So the level 3 access make a little bit more of an impact. He managed to farm up a little bit of this huge stack he's been getting himself here. But honestly, what you want to do is, until you hit level 5, you just want to...
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I think you just want to stack it up and not use your axes for farming it, because they honestly don't do that much damage before they hit the 3rd level. Keep in mind that the damage increase here is doubled, so they gain 60 damage per level. Not the 30.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So yeah, he should just go home and regen now. There isn't much for it. So yeah, he's let's just take a little bit of an adventure here. The most important thing right now for me is that he is really low level. Like we see, that he is about the same level as the enemy's support. he's actually a lot under level in comparison to the enemy's other support hero and the other support hero on his team. So he's doing really badly level wise, and part of it is because he died once and he's been kind of roaming around a little bit, so he hasn't gotten as much lane XP as he would want. And he's also like the stuff where he's positioned around here, he gets back here, gets to do a little run around over here, and it's also the fact that he's invested so much in stacking this and hasn't quite managed to farm it yet. That's seeing him so under level, but he should be further up in level now, and that would dramatically increase his usefulness just as soon as he get this primal roar. But he just doesn't have it yet because of some a little bit of rough play. But I do like he's very disciplined with his pickups. I don't like the magic stick pickup, but it isn't like in another game with some more spammy opponents. It would have been fine, honestly. But yeah, Sand King's gonna overextend now and manage to die there. We have a bit of a kerfuffle down here in the stream. They managed to kill Windscript Spirit, which is a good pickup. His friends are fighting down here, so he should almost certainly have joined that fight. That would have been good. Managed to get the kill off on the Nyx, which is gonna add a lot of gold to him. He's gonna be very happy about that. He could stack right about now, so he misses a stack here. I think he does. Nope. Maybe. I don't know if that stacked. Yeah, probably didn't stack. It was, yeah, he just didn't manage it quite in time. It is also hard when there's so many creeps. Like, you have to be very specific on the timing. Missed a creep there, a little bit odd on the angling there. But yeah, I think he does manage to farm this stack, and that's honestly, if he doesn't get this stack, this is pretty catastrophic for him. He has hit level 7 now, so he does get up the 4th level of the Axis, which is really important. That's another milestone for him. So yeah, now they know the stack is here, and they actually managed to pressure this tower, which is of course pretty horrific for this Beastmaster. The thing is, this is a really passive lineup they've got going, and because of the way their lineup is their capabilities, it doesn't make, you know, it's a little unfortunate for him that he hasn't got. They don't really have the oomph at this point to defend this against what they're up against. Like the Dragon Knight, he's much more of a tanky character than really a damage dealer. He could maybe just kind of, if he had the right backup, he could kind of muffle them away. But the right backup is certainly not an anti-mage who is super passive at this point in the game. He's also got pretty bad farm at this point for 13 minutes in the game. I think he's got relatively little. Yeah, his farm he's not super good on the farm, so he's not doing any damage. We can see he doesn't have any damage items, so like he can't do anything for the defense. He's just looking to rise up, basically. He's looking to passively farm. The Sand King is not doing very hot at all. Like he's died twice. The Venomancer is doing a little better. He's got some levels. Like he could maybe help repel this, but right now they can't hold on to this tower, and because they can't hold on to this tower, they can't hold on to the stack. And because they can't hold on to the stack, that's gonna basically be a lot of the farm that the Beastmaster's worked on. That's just gonna be going to the enemy, which you know, basically a worst case scenario there. You see, he's very aware of this, and he wants to at the very least contest this. But it's gonna end up costing them a bad engagement down here. Dragon Knight managed to deny the tower, but Beastmaster should almost certainly have gone for the for helping in that engagement instead of contesting the ancient stack. I just wanna take a look at the what happened there again. So Beastmaster's up here. I'm gonna set it to free cam. Yeah. This might be way too far back, actually. No, this is probably fine. Oh yeah, this is where the Beastmaster dies.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
So yeah. The bench start going to work here. The thing is, the Dragon Knight's over here. He gets the deny off. He engages here. Now, if they had the Beastmaster Roar on the Luna there, she would almost certainly have died very fast, maybe even without getting that off, and they could have gotten 2 kills instead of losing the Dragon Knight. Instead he blows out his stun here. He should have used the Call of the Wild first, Call of the Boar first, lay down the slow on the DPS from the Boar while she's stunned. Instead, he's just going to basically end up having to chase and dying because of it.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Managed to save the Nyx there, that was a good glimpse. Well played there from the Disruptor. We're gonna shift back to the Beastmaster's camp here. So, again, just a little bit of rough play. His map awareness isn't quite there. He's a little bit too focused on that ancient stack. Like the Vengeful isn't gonna farm it up particularly fast anyway. So just be a little bit more aware of what your allies are doing, what you need to do to help them. You are kind of it is kind of like putting a little bit more of a farm support in the offline picking a Beastmaster. He is more of a utility character and more there to enable other characters to do what they do. So he's a little tunnel vision on getting this blink dagger, to be honest. He should be looking to do other stuff occasionally when there's like obvious timings for it. He could certainly pick up like a TP skull instead of just completely focusing on this. So he got scared back here probably because he saw the Nyx. That's pretty smart. They've lost the tower around here, which means it's very safe for the Nyx to walk around in here, or comparably safe. Like it isn't very safe for the Nyx. It isn't obvious, like just putting down a Sentry Ward in here might be a good investment if the Nyx is looking to shut down the Beastmaster, and the Beastmaster is spending so much time in there. Yeah. So here the Venge is gonna just try for this this ancient stack again. Dragon Knight again engages alone down here. So they're gonna now the Anti-Mage joins in. They lose the DK and the Sand King. They get a Venge. Blowing the now if they had the Roar here for this Terror Blade, they could have maybe kept the rest alive. Instead, it's only gonna be Beastmaster who makes it out there basically, which is pretty horrible. So mistimed use of ability there. In general, you don't want to use Primal Roar for a relatively low impact kill, like the Nyx in this case. Killing the Nyx isn't gonna do super much, but killing the Terrorblade or Luna, that's what you want to use it for. And generally, just chasing down a kill, that's not anything you want to do. You had a Dragon Knight there, you had one of the supports. Either of the supports, they have cooldowns that are relatively slow, like this 9-second cooldown on the Dragon Tail. You could have waited that and just gotten a kill anyway, instead of wasting the Beastmaster ult, which is a 75 cooldown. Actually 80 still, because it's still level 1, because this Beastmaster is what we like to call under-leveled here. Actually it's stabilized a lot, but yeah. So he's gonna participate now. Yeah, that was a good roar. Good roar there, but a good ultimate from the Disruptor. You see, one of the problems there is that the roar came out, and that was a good roar, but there was no follow-up. It really, once the roar's out, what needs to happen is a lot of damage needs to be stacked onto that target. What I wanted to talk about regarding this lineup is that aside from the Sand King and maybe the Venomancer, there just isn't that follow-up. There isn't that damage that really needs to come out now that Luna's going to give him a hard time. Luna is really happy about using her ultimate to sink him out, honestly. I don't know how smart that is. Like, the level 1 ultimate, sure, but now it's a level 2 ultimate, and really that could turn around an entire team fight. So, there's no reason to chuck it out for solo Beastmaster. But I mean, it's doing enough in this case.
Radiant's top tower has fallen. Dire's middle tower has fallen.
So now he's playing catch-up on a Beastmaster, which is not fun at all. He doesn't really have any mechanism to do that, and the best thing he can do at this point is just be a walking raw and try to set up some big kills. The problem, especially here, is that they don't manage to focus down the Terrorblade, as you saw there. He kept alive through the raw and manages to managed to switch life with the Anti-Mage, meaning that the Anti-Mage is suddenly at like 25% life. And that's gonna get him killed really, really fast. Triple kill! Yeah, they do manage to get a pretty decent fight there. Since the
Radiant's middle
the Vayne
tower
ward
is
did a
under
lot
attack.
there, and actually the Beastmaster did a good
Radiant
bit as well. Like,
structures
you
of
can't just ignore the
Radiant's
boar,
middle
it
tower
does
is under
a
attack.
significant amount of damage.
Radiant's middle
So,
tower has
again,
fallen.
mining the stack here, really wanting to abuse this ancient camp, and I like this a lot. This is honestly one of the only things keeping him in the game, is being able to farm this up right now. He still has pretty horrible stats, died 5 times, 20 minutes, not really ideal.
Regeneration.
But then again, Beastmaster isn't likely to get super many kills again. He doesn't have super much damage. Now he's gonna get screwed over by the Nyx. So the Nyx is, you know, when you just wanna farm this one camp, the Nyx can just, you know, anytime you're not visible on the map, just check if you're there with Null and give you a really hard time. So the Sand King's gonna get fucked up by the Nyx, hopefully. Because the Nyx could just... okay, yeah. Instead, yeah, he's just almost got out, almost smart. But, you know, just in sight. Or actually, I think maybe the Vengeful could get sight in there with the Wave of Terror. Yeah. Slightly mistimed access there, but honestly, yeah, here, this I really don't like, so... yeah. Again, the same thing happens. He roars the Terror Blade. Let's just go back and see that again. So, that's way too far. But okay, let's just see.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So, see, and there were the axes. Go out. And okay, oh shit. So this is where he decides to roar forward here. He's got a Dragon Knight with him, but there's no other backup. He's too big, like follow-up damage dealers. The Sand King, especially with the follow-up stun, is very important. Like if you get another 2.17 seconds here, maybe even an epicenter if they time it really well. Like if actually I think, okay, the channel time, yeah, 2 seconds. So I'm pretty sure this is a second level Beastmaster stun. Yeah, that's like 4.5, 3.5. Okay, so he could stun for 3.5 seconds. The Sand King could channel his full channel for his epicenter, and then Burrow strike in, and then they would definitely secure the kill here, I think, because they're actually pretty close. They do have the Dragon Knight there. The Dragon Knight is very underfarmed as well. This is a really terrible game, just with regard to they're just getting so far behind. But this Vanguard is also a questionable play from this this Dragon Knight. You don't want to. I think if you want a chunky item on a Dragon Knight, I think just go for either Mechanism or an Armlet. Those are far superior to this Vanguard in 90% of the cases, and certainly when you don't have anyone that will lay down a ton of punches on the enemy team, like, then I think this Vanguard is just not gonna do enough. Like, it's already fallen off so badly in terms of usefulness. So yeah, this Dragon Knight's gonna be, he's got 300 damage nuke and 100 damage nuke, and then he's got a bit of right click damage. Yeah, a little bit, but it's not going to be enough follow-up. Like, that's the whole thing. Like, he basically initiated with just one guy in backup because he thought it was enough. But Terrorblade here, and this is a reasonably farmed Terrorblade, level 11 Terrorblade. It's just dangerous because of the Sunder. Like, you need to focus him down, or he's gonna make you pay for it. And there's also a level 15 Nyx with a Dagon 3. So yeah, the Nyx being there is unfortunate. You could have maybe guessed it, like where else would the Nyx be right now? But at least the DK lives. But it's just very not a good plan there. You just need, you're not a solo ganker as Beastmaster. You have to have the backup. And it has to be backup that can actually do something. And unfortunately, your two other cores, like, when your two other cores are like an anti-mage who is just tanky, and like, oh well, not tanky, but he's not really a damage dealer. Like, even with the Battle Fury here, he's kind of mediocre. He needs to get super farmed before he becomes scary. And then you have the DK who's spec'd defensively, which is just useless. Like, there's just not enough damage coming out for these two to follow up that to kill a Terrorblade fast enough to make sure that he just doesn't sunder his way out of it and do a trade instead.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Venomancer's having a bit of scuffle. They managed to kill off the Terror Blade anyway and the
Dire's bottom
next
tower
in the follow-up, but it's just that could have turned out so much better, considering you have like a blink primal raw initiation. Okay, good blink there. Good follow-up there, chasing down this nicely. This Disrupt is honestly just playing really well, but he's not gonna be able to escape this time.
Illusion.
But it's really the Luna that's getting super scary right now. If we look at what she has. Yeah, BKB, Dominator. She's going a really safe build, honestly. And she hasn't even used very many charges on her BKB. So she can, at this point, she has a pretty good right click just because she's got the 38 damage from the Lunar Blessing, and you know, there's some added up damage between all these kind of mediocre right click items, but she's got 20 from Helm of the Dominator, she's got a bit from Ring of Aquila, a bit from Yasha, and a bit from Black King Bar. So that all adds up to, at this point in the game, a pretty decent right click, but the real danger here is the Eclipse that can just nuke you down, and she's got the BKB and the Helm of the Dominator to tank up for her. She's got 22 armor, she's got a lot of things going for her. And you know, it's dealing with her that's the real issue, and they're spending so much energy just trying to contain the Terror Blade, who is honestly not doing. He's doing better than their team, but he's not doing amazingly. He's way behind the Luna, we can see here. Probably also in terms of level, yeah. Actually, he's doing horribly in level wise. So that's what up basically. Like they are spending all their energy now, kind of dealing with the rest of the team, bar the Luna. And when you're not dealing with the Luna, she's gonna get big. Yep, so that's unfortunate. That was just an illusion. Very well played from the Luna there, just sending one lone illusion in, not showing anywhere else on the map. You can get some free big cooldowns from your opponents or waste their mana or whatever. Really good job there. So for another 45 seconds, you know, because he got baited out by that, looks kind of not really any reason to go for a kill there when there's 3 around you. Like he could have just waited or looked for a solo target and just pull out. Yeah. Yeah, so just kind of waiting for something to happen here. Like he should just be not spending too much time farming, and honestly he's the best way to fight right now. So another thing that's unfortunate with the lineup is they had 4 melees, everyone aside from the Venomancer, so stuff like that with Varus striking up on the platform here is gonna have to come up. They also had the Sand King was AFK for a long time, or disconnected for a long time during the start of the game when they were paused. And also like a bit after. So that's unfortunate. Now the Luna's just gonna come in here. She takes out the 2 main threats almost immediately, like the DK and the anti-mage. And you know, they haven't even touched her, so pretty much all that was is that cooldown. So that's yeah, they just don't have a way of dealing with her, unfortunately. The anti-mage, though he has got like 1.5 good items, he's just not good enough yet. The yeah.
Dire's top
The
tower
DK
is under attack.
He's got a Mjolnir now, so another Mjolnir Maelstrom. So he's got a little bit of damage now. Not super excited about that. Would much rather like to see the armlet, but yeah.
My demons welcome me. I smite.
So yeah, don't be pushing out lanes by yourself with no vision in their woods. See that? He's managing the Hawk, okay? Like you can see the Hawk vision here, Hawk vision here. Oh, that was actually a war. I don't know what the Sand King's doing here. That's just really weird. Probably watching the wrong guy. But yeah, he's just kind of farming up the jungle here, trying to get out his Necro 3. Like Necro 1 to 2 is good, like it's decent, but the 3rd level is really what you want. It becomes so much better. At level 1 is just not super good anymore. Like it's okay. but you want that true side from the level 3 and the extra pure damage nuke once it dies and everything. Yep. So they can kill the Luna. We see it was pretty good. They didn't trade too much for it. I think the Anti-Mage dying at this point is worth it for the Luna dying, definitely. We can see he's going to be out for like 40 seconds where the Luna isn't, so it's pretty good all told. He pretty much has his Necro 2 as well. But yeah, that's just, you just kind of have to defend the high ground at this point, I think. Get as much farm on the DK and the Anti-Mage, especially on the Anti-Mage as you can. Don't know what the Sand King is doing up there.
Such sorcery shall not prevail.
He managed to get the VS there, it's pretty good. And they're going for the... yeah, they can go for the Roshan here. Good use of the Plague Wards.
Roshan has fallen to the down.
This Sand King is playing not super well, I have to say. He doesn't have a blink, so he's got the item he really needs, which is a blink, kind of the same as so many other heroes. Like he just becomes so much better with blink. But that Epicenter needs to do more, and it needs to be there for the team prize.
You're not done with me yet.
Fighting without the Anti-Mage and the Beastmaster there is really not smart at this point. Like, they can't afford that. They need 5-man fights if they want them. If it's not outright pick-offs, then they need to 5-man it. Okay, that was really good. So what happened there is they took a fight and they managed to get out of it with the Anti-Mage basically getting fed and everyone else dying in the fight. So that's really good, really good. That's about best case scenario. He's got his mana tied up now. That is the one thing they've got going on for it is if they can push the game out long enough, this Anti-Mage will become big enough to actually stand up to the Luna. Even though the Luna is getting huge, like she's got her butterfly now. That's pretty scary. But yeah, they still have to get there. Still have to get past the Luna, and probably the Terrorblade has been just farming up.
Radiant's bottom tower.
He's been trying. At least he's going for BKB, but it looks like it's taking about forever. The Nyx trying to solo the Anti-Mage here. It's not gonna work. Nyx relies a lot on magical damage, and the Anti-Mage, of course, has this here thing, a spell shield, which gives him 50% extra mana resistance, magic resistance. So he's got 62% magic resistance, which means that he has got a lot more effective health than usual heroes, like with the 25% magic resistance, would have against most of the Nyx's damage. So yeah, not a fan of trying to solo an Anti-Mage as a Nyx, especially when you're relying a lot on the Dagon for damage. That's just not gonna... It's not likely to pan out. Again, Blink initiation here on our Vengeful, which is pretty much the lowest priority target you could find in the enemy team.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Yeah.
Radiant's bottom
It's
tower
gonna work out here,
fallen.
but honestly I think this Roar should be reserved for the Luna at this point. That's just the only guy you'd need that desperately to take out. The cooldown isn't that bad though. In this level 3 now, so it's a 70-second cooldown. But still, I think it's a questionable use. And it's not like the Luna can't fight without the Vengeful. It's more effective with the Vengeful, honestly, but it's you know, yeah. Like, that's the thing with Beastmaster. He's very good at taking out one character for a little bit of time. And when you have one character that's so much scarier than the rest on the enemy team, you just want it to be that character that you're taking out. So he's just kind of farming up here. He's got his Necro 3. He's just keeping the lane pushed out. And that's honestly pretty good. Like, the Anti-Mage is farming up elsewhere, but also the rest of the farm should honestly just go to the Anti-Mage. I don't know what you get on this guy here.
Unstoppable.
So the Terrorblade is playing really badly. He just overextended over here by himself, but now His Venge is taking a fight over here with the Luna without him. Yeah, we'll see how that pans out. Okay, the Anti-Mage is actually big enough to take on the Luna already. So I didn't expect that. But I guess Anti-Mage is just a little bit better in 1-on-1. Because the Luna is still... Okay, she's not as far ahead as Offlane. We see here, yeah, he can't even solo the Disruptor. So it ends up panning out though. I think he should definitely have TP'd back to defend there. Been there for that fight. But, you know, he can't even solo Disruptor, so this guy is definitely, you know, much better at setting up kills for others than he is at actually getting kills himself.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So he's getting a heavy halberd. That's pretty smart. Once the Luna's BKB runs out, you can just disable the auto attack, which is honestly the main threat at this point in the game, in the late game. So Beastmaster gets the gift. He went in and jumped in and went on to someone else than the Luna again here. Now the Anti-Mage gonna end up in a rough position. He's gonna end up living. But you see, it is kind of a fight between the Anti-Mage and the Luna at this point. Like Vino and... Okay, they actually got her. So they got her, but it took like 3 kills there. So it is, and you know, they are really relying on that Anti-Mage. So just in this case, it should just be set up a kill on the Luna for the Anti-Mage with your ult is the game plan here. Just using it on anyone else is almost just not worth it. Like it's just not. Until the Terror Bait gets used, at least. Yeah, that wasn't worth it, I don't think. This is 50 seconds where, okay, you're gonna give, okay, that, just because the Luna was dead, it was probably worth it.
Monster kill!
So honestly, in the email he talked about, he sent in this replay, and in that email he talked about there being a bit of a comeback. And honestly, I think they actually might be at an advantage here. He's actually going for a Desolator and not a BKB. I would much rather like to see a BKB on this guy. Just because he gets so much from Metamorphosis. But has he just been hanging out? Is he AFK? Or did he just die? He died. He's died so much. But he's just trying to do his own thing. He's trying to play this as a single player game. He's trying to push in lane solo and just dying thanks to it. Have you noticed that the catapults show up on the map now? Like if you see this tower looking thing and this tower looking thing on the map, like right here, those are catapults. You can see them on the map now. They've got a special icon. That's a bit neat. I was wondering before what that big old red blob some places were, but that's it, apparently. So they're taking Roshan again. I'm a little surprised that they're giving the breathing space from the Radiant side, but the Nurks keeps dying, honestly. This Nurks, he's 17 and 13. So, okay, he's going for the Dagger and E-Blade thing, which is... I don't like it at all. And he hasn't even got arcane boosts, so... This Nurks is just going for solo gank. I'm not a fan of this here. If the Nurks was alive and the Venge was alive, they could contest this easily. But because they're dead, they kind of gave it up, because they are relying a little bit on those two for initiation. So, yeah. The Beastmaster taking out the Nurks ends up being a bit important here. I honestly wouldn't be standing in here as the Beastmaster. I would be standing up here in range for the... it's just, when you're doing Roshan, you need to think a lot about who you have in there and why. So the Venomans are not going in there is perfect. The Sand King shouldn't be in there, and I think Beastmaster shouldn't be in there. And then if the enemy decides to go in, then you have people spread around the place that can counter-initiate. Especially the Beastmaster and the Sand King are ideal for that. Just because they haven't got any DPS to add to the fight in there. Like even with the Luna Aura, this guy's right click is... Okay, he's got 200 right click with the Luna Aura. That's actually decent. And he's got some attack speed from his aura. But as long as he's up here, like the attack speed aura will be sent in. So you don't really need his... or not, no, the Luna's in the other team, so he won't actually have that. Yeah, okay. So the Anti-Mage... Yeah, as long as you give the Anti-Mage your attack speed aura, and you can do that by being up here, then even if like the Disruptor Vault come in on top of the whole place here, you can still blink because you're not in here. Then you can still blink in, stun up the Luna, people can get out, you can get a good fight. Instead you're kind of banking on them not coming and interrupting you while you do this. So, So yeah, just food for thought. It ended up panning out now, obviously, but yeah, other times that's if your roche chance keep going wrong. Try to figure out if you're just standing all 5 inside the roche pit when you shouldn't be. Bad roar again. See now the Luna. Yep. So
is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
I get to point out my point here, reiterate my point. So I'm gonna do that. But just rewinding this to when they get the pick off on the. Oh, that's actually a bit too far here. So let's put this down to 1x, and we can see what goes wrong here. It might actually be the GG fight here. And what happens is he blinks in, roars the Terrorblade. So let's see the situation. All right, Luna's BKB'd, but that's fine because we have our big old stun that goes through BKB was just used on a guy that's gotten a Sanjin Yasha. That's it. Level 14 Sanjin Yasha, not the level 25 Butterfly, Satanic, Manda style BKB. Yeah. So if we could stun her right now, before she gets this off, and the anti-mage gets to just kill everyone in the meanwhile, or we just kinda get to chain stun, or at least just wait out the BKB. It's just a 4-second BKB. If you stun her, then that's the same duration as a BKB, and you can just stun her with the Dragon Tail afterwards for another 3.25 seconds. Let's see if you don't win the fight then. Instead, the roar went on the Terrorblade, who's honestly not doing very much. And now what happens is the Eclipse comes out, you get silenced because you're right in there. So yeah. The Dragon Knight's gonna get some kills and supports, but honestly doesn't really matter at this point. Even though the Dragon Knight has got some items now.
Dire's top
yeah, he's got a Mjolnir and a Crystallis. He's honestly not doing very well. He's just level 24. That's pretty much it. He's got 2 separate transport scrolls, which is weird. So he's gonna die now. And I'm gonna, for my money, this should just be Rax. Like, they have got the anti-mage, so maybe it's not Rax, but they haven't got the Dragon Knight, they haven't got the Beastmaster, they haven't got the Venomancer for a long time. So if this anti-mage kind of makes the wrong call here and tries to defend alone, that could be it. Why isn't he healing up?
Dire's middle tower.
His anti-mage should 100% be healing up, but he just didn't. Okay, he's got Aegis. Sand King. It's just not. Alright, that was a good draw. Came in a bit of a slow reaction there, but they managed to get the Luna. So that was exactly the scenario we needed to do that in. Just, you know, single out the Luna. Enable your anti-mage to come in and do the damage. He's finally got his farm up. He's finally got the follow-up you need for your ultimate. So, that was good. Now it's only the Terrorblade.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Unless the Luna has a buyback, she honestly should. But she doesn't. 200 is not a buyback, so... Did actually win this one.
Radiant's middle barracks has fallen. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, it looks like... Oh, now the Luna's back now.
Radiant's top
and the Beastmaster's dead.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Why isn't she up?
The world loses epidemics with a toxin.
Oh, you're not going to beg.
So, but they got 1 Rax, at least. They got 2 sets of Rax. Honestly, that's... Did they actually lose this one? Because this is really good for them. Like, the anti-mage is still up. And the Luna... Okay, she does have a Satanic, so that's gonna be tough on the anti, but... I mean... Yeah... Can't they just... defend? Like, Beastmaster's up again as well now, so... He's going for... okay, he should just be saving for buyback. Definitely not buying this. You should have buyback
Dire's
here.
middle tower
Because
has
this is do
fallen.
or die.
Dire's middle barracks has fallen.
Right, they're gonna give up. Rex. He goes back here. Let's keep an eye on the allies down here.
Dire's middle tower
Luna
has fallen.
she just pushes at an alarming rate here. Beastmaster gets bursted down, didn't use roar. 1600. This is a 1400 item. This is a 500 item. He could have fought back. If he didn't buy this, he could have fought back. At this point in the game, you should not buy all these things. DK gets swapped or gets sundered by the turret, dies. Oh, this is so hard to watch.
Dire's ancient is under attack. Radiant victory.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So. This was a pretty good game. Lots to talk about. Okay, wait. I need to. Where is it? There we go. Alright. So. 6-13-24. This is honestly not. Like the proportions, like 13 devs is a lot, but the proportions aren't too unusual for Beastmaster. Like I said, he isn't really the guy who kills stuff, he's the guy who sets up a bunch of stuff and gets a bunch of utility. There wasn't a lot to work for you with regard to teammates for most of the game. The Sand King, probably the most obvious like combo piece for you. And he just performed pretty shite, to be honest. He just didn't do what he needed to. He said he had some lag problems. Maybe he had certainly some of his echo epicenters. Echo Slam is the Earthshaker one. His epicenters were kind of off the mark and really weird. The ones I saw. So there wasn't a lot to combo in with. So you had that going against you. You did well with the ancient camps. I think you should continue with that. That was really good. But you were kind of too aggressive in your positioning, especially against the Disruptor. That's really super dangerous against the Disruptor. But you got caught out twice in the early game that you didn't need to. You were a bit too generous with your Primal Roars. You need to identify who is the target, and in this case there was a target that needed to be shot down. And here I'm talking about the Luna again. You could basically tell that the Terrorblade was under-leveled and didn't have enough farm to really be a threat. The Luna, on the other hand, had tons of farm and needed to be shot down. And you lost that big fight in bottom where you used it on the Terrorblade and not the Luna. And I'm pretty sure you lost it for that reason. If you had just been a little bit patient, just let your team just burst him down instead of just caking him with all your important abilities and he just kind of ate everything. But then there was nothing for the Luna, and certainly not a Primal Roar. Yeah. There was some roughness in the movements. There was some lacking map awareness, especially early in the mid game. There was a few fights. You could have the Dragon Knight trying to deny your tier 1 in your offlane. You could have assisted there. That would have been big if you could turn that around. Your item choices were pretty perfect. I liked your skill build a lot. Yeah, I think your item choices and your skill build were good. You clearly have an understanding of what you need to do with the hero and what you, with regard to items and regard to skill build, and you're doing in broad strokes what you need to be doing. You're blink initiating. You're using your Necro Book for additional DPS and for utility, for pushing potential. You got the Heaven's Helmet, which I think is really smart when you're dealing with a problematic right clicker like Luna, and you got it at a timing where she would have grinded down most of her BKB, so there's actually a reasonable chance you could have been alive after her BKB ends for you to disarm her. I didn't see you actually do it, but it was a good plan. I like that a lot, and it also helped you keep alive also, so it is a pretty good item to get at that point. Maybe you have gotten a Vlad's instead though, of Vladimir's offering, just to get, even more damage, and the lifesteal for your Dragon Knight and for your Anti-Mage would have been big. If you see both of them haven't gotten it, then it's really good. And also don't need to micro it, so if it's a bit watch already, do have the minions as well as stuff. So that's just an alternative that could have been. Yeah, it's also really a lot cheaper now. I think it's about half the price of a halberd. Yeah, you were really close to making the combat. This was really close game, but I think you were kind of at the crux of it. There was definitely some decisions that could have been made on your teammates that could have also turned it. I think the early Vanguard on the part of the Dragon Knight was really bad, and I think the yeah, I think the anti-mage maybe could have gotten online a bit sooner or been involved a bit smarter. And he basically, in the final fight, he wasted his ages. If he had just healed up and then had a full life and then another full life, instead of just going in and relying on the ages just for the heal, I think that would have been a lot better. But you could have also turned it with a bit smarter use of your raw and keeping up your buyback in the last portion of the game. Just not working on. I mean, it's tempting to get another big item. It's tempting to get almost 6 slotted and get the what was it? Assault Cuirass. But I mean, you'd have to keep up buyback at this point. And your buyback is really large because you're level 23, but you have to keep up your buyback. So just, don't buy the expensive items unless your buyback's down, or you're absolutely sure that you can buy the entire item and still have, or at least a component and still have your buyback. Because the buyback there could have won you the fight, definitely. Like if you buy back, just buy back, run in, blink in, and get a big primal raw and access off, and get the necro units out. Just get on the field basically. Then it could have turned it. So it was pretty close. Yeah, I think yeah, as per usual, feel free to give me your feedback and feel free to send in replays. The instructions on how to do so will be in the description for this video. Yeah, my name has been Cerebellum. This has been Academy of the Ancients. I hope you've enjoyed watching. My videos have been very slow recently. That's not likely to pick up, or not likely to be very much more stable. So expect there to be a bit of a gap in my videos sometimes. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed it anyway. I'm out.